What's going on, guys? Today I am going to teach you guys how to ship in 2019. It's the best ways that I know how to ship, and hopefully it is the cheapest way. If you guys know a better way, I don't know, but this is how I do it. So the software I use is Shipping Easy. I use this because you can hook up multiple stores onto this platform, so that if a sale comes in from eBay, Amazon, or Shopify, or whatever account, like even WordPress, if you create a site, you can hook it up to this, and all the orders come into one spot so that you can do all the shipping in one spot. If you ship it through here, it syncs to there, and then it sends out whatever message saying that it's shipped to the customer. These are all the orders that came in from yesterday up to today, because I shipped it out yesterday already. So I'm gonna take an item right here, and then I'm gonna show you guys an example. And then, so I create the shipment for this, and it'll go into the shipments tab. So under the shipments tab, you could see, you could select which carrier that you want to use. Up here are presets, but right here you can see USPS, UPS, and FedEx. They offer 3. So for other carriers, I think you have to hook it up, and even your USPS and UPS and FedEx accounts, if you have custom accounts with those carriers, you could hook it up to this end and then get those rates that you negotiated. So for anything under 1 pound, USPS first class is the best one. It's the cheapest rate out of all of them as far as domestically. It could go anywhere from 0 to 16 ounces. So I mean, it can't hit 16 ounces, but it could go up to 15.9 ounces. And the rates vary. You could look up, you can go to USPS.com and then look up their rates on the first class and how it varies. It changes year over year, but for this year, it's still the cheapest. The bad thing about USPS first class is it does not give you any insurance. So for example, if you ship it out and then they lose your package or they break your package becomes damaged, you're not insured for that. So you have to either buy separate insurance for that, or you just risk it. And what I like to do is just risk it, because I haven't had too many problems. Maybe like 1 out of like a lot of orders that they would screw up. So I haven't had too many problems with first class. But if you're shipping something expensive, I would not go with the first class option. I'll go with like the next option, which is priority. So I'll show you an example of how I ship a first class item. So in order to ship out any item, you need a scale to weigh the item so that you can input it into the computer, so the carrier knows what this item falls on, which class this item falls under. So what I would do is I would actually, for something like this that doesn't need any cushioning, you could put it into any bag, envelope, or, so I'm using a poly bag right now, or box. So I'm going to weigh this and see what the weight of it is with the packaging, and it comes out to 11.1, right? So I'm pretty sure with the label on, it's going to be 11.1. This has to be rounded up to, it's going to be rounded up to 12. I mean, you could type in 11.1, but you're going to be quoted as 12 ounces. And this comes out to $3.96 for 12 ounces. I would add that to cart. Pay this bill, and then now it's generating a label. Press print, and then now you have your USPS first class label, and print it to my Dymo 4 XL printer, which should print out my label like that. Take the label, and then just slap it on. And now this is ready to go. You could just drop this off at USPS. You don't have to like wait online and let the person do it. It's actually more expensive for you to utilize your local USPS office. So let's say you just walk in with the product and they do everything for you, they're going to charge you more versus doing it online yourself and dropping it off at that station. So I actually got some priority labels printed, and you can see that there's a big F for first class on here for the first class, and there's a big P for priority, and it's a different label. So yeah, these are the USPS first class packaging rates. As you can see, they go from 1 ounce to 15.99999 ounces, and it goes from zone 1 to zone 9. This means the further your customer is, it gets more expensive, and as well as the heavier the item gets, it gets more expensive. You have to really work with the weights and see what type of packaging you want to use. So, for example, if I added like bubble into that, it would be a little heavier. But if I put that into a box, the cardboard weight itself would make the item heavier. So, look at the charts and whatever you're shipping, figure out the cheapest solution to ship that item. All right, so after first class, anything that's above 1 pound in weight, I like to use USPS priority mail. These are the free boxes that they give you. You could order these online. All these boxes you could order online, but priority mail is, it works same thing as first class, but it has rates depending on your zones, zone 1 through zone 9. And they actually give you free boxes of different sizes to use. So it says priority mail, it just says priority mail. It's different from the flat rate. So you see how this says flat rate, this says small flat rate, this says medium flat rate and stuff. This should just say priority mail. Like, it should not say flat rate on any part of the box. For priority, I think it's only worth it if they're within the local zone, like zone 1, 2, and 3. Because the rates after that, the flat rates are a lot better because it gets very expensive. For example, since I'm in New Jersey, and if I were to ship it to California or Texas, I think the rates could go from $15 to $20 anywhere from there, depending on the weight of the item. Next, the flat rate series. This is these are amazing because the weight doesn't matter. So anything above like 2 pounds or whatnot, like as long as it fits here, it's most likely going to be cheaper because their motto is if it fits, it ships. So whatever you can do, try to fit it into the cheapest flat rate choice, and you'll probably get the best rate. So small flat rate envelope. I really don't use this too much because you could only fit like paper type of things into here. But if you're shipping out any like paper type of thing, I guess this works. But usually those things fall under, under 16 ounces. So you'll probably be shipping that first class right away. All right, so I use this a lot because for packaged items like toys and stuff, even if it's above 2 pounds, as long as it fits inside here, it will ship at like $7.55 to $8 range. And what I like to do is, if I can put it inside a box and then put it inside here, it's perfect because the items won't have less of a chance of getting damaged. So yeah, this one's a good one. Make sure not to confuse the flat rate envelope with the flat rate padded envelope. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people mix those two up. Next, the small flat rate box. I don't use this a lot either because usually anything of this size is under 16 ounces once again. So I think I used it once maybe. I mean, the shipping is faster than first class, so if you need faster shipping, then use this. But if not, first class is the cheapest option. The medium flat rate box. Medium flat rate box ranges from $12.50 to $14 depending on your rates. You can see the screen. Same thing again. If it fits in here, it can ship. There's 2 different types of medium flat rate. I don't know if there's more, but you can look online. And yeah, anything that fits in here, you can ship it. So for the priority mail, this is the regular priority mail. You could not only just use these boxes that they provide, but you could also just use a regular box like this. Like this box. This is just a box from Uline. What you would do is just put it in, tape it up, and then just slap the priority label right on top of here. And then it should, like for me, it works. You could just ship it like that, but what they prefer is you buy the USPS sticker, priority sticker, and then stick that on as well, so that they could know that it's a priority mail. As far as packaging goes, what I would keep on hand is, these are very useful for shipping. These are poly bags. You can just buy straight off of Amazon. There are different sizes for it, but depending on your needs, just stock up on whatever you need. And these are very cheap. I think if you buy it in bulk, or even if you buy it like this, it's probably like 3 cents ish per bag. So it's a very cheap solution, but you won't get much protection. I would also keep these on hand. These are bubbled envelopes. There's this with the bubble in it, but I just used this one because it was cheaper for me. These envelopes I think range anywhere from 10 cents to 30 cents depending on where you can get it and how much you order. This is slightly more padded because of the bubble, but you know, it gives a little bit more protection. But if at worst, just use a box. Now boxes are hard because you have to keep a lot of different sizes and stuff depending on what you're doing. But remember, they do have, USPS has free options of just ordering that online, and you could just get free boxes if you need. So technically, I mean, you'll find most people, these two are sufficient enough. I find myself using these two options the most. This is the flat rate padded envelope and then the medium flat rate box. Because anything below like these other options, I usually just ship it first class because the weight is under 16 ounces. But anything, if I weigh it and it becomes over 16 ounces, this is the first place I look to see if it fits inside here. And if it fits inside here, then I ship it through this. And if it doesn't fit inside here, then there are a couple options before getting to the medium flat rate. I think around 90% of what I ship, I just use USPS because I'm shipping it with the cheapest option available. Now, obviously, there's different options like overnight shipping and all that stuff, depending on your need. But if let's say you sold something on eBay or something, I think this is the best. USPS will give you the best price as of 2019, except for certain situations. So I think if, for example, like if it's a larger size item that can't even fit the flat rate box, anything larger in size, you should check UPS Ground and FedEx Ground because those two provide really good options for the larger sized items. And most likely they're going to be cheaper. And you could just fidget around with the rates and see which one's the cheapest and choose your best option as far as shipping easy goes. So this is another software that I like to use, and it's probably going to save you a lot of money on shipping. On here, it's kind of like Shipping Easy, but it's great for single labels. What this does is it gives you a discounted rate. It's called cubic shipping, and they combine all their customers shipping together, and then they go negotiate a rate from USPS so that you could get a cheaper rate. But they also have this thing called cubic shipping. For this, I'm not too sure about the details, but I think it's anything under like 1 cubic feet or something, or half a cubic feet or something. It gives you significantly discounted rates for those. So first class is still the same, priority is still the same, but let's say you're shipping something that's really heavy, but that's small. This thing will save you a lot of money. So I would always check this platform to see if they can offer a cheaper rate. So here's an example of the steps that I would take before shipping out an item. So for example, let's say I have to ship this item out. This is pretty large. First thing I would do is weigh it. So this is 1 pound and 9 ounces, right? So that means automatically I can't ship it first class. Next thing I'll look at is priority envelope. It doesn't fit, obviously, so I can't ship it through this. So it's probably going to be more expensive than $7.55 to $8. So next thing I would look at is the cubic rate and then the priority rate, depending on the zone. So if it's going to California, this is probably going to be cheaper. If it's going somewhere local, regular priority is probably going to be cheaper. So I have to go find a box that can fit this. So I found this box, or I have this box that's 14 by 10 by 6, and I just tried it. It does fit that in. So I would take this up, and then, although it's not the most perfect fitting thing, actually it fits quite nicely. It doesn't move because it's perfect. If it's moving inside, I would put like whatever you like, paper or crumpled craft paper or bubble, those bubble things. Yeah, I'll put that inside so that the item itself doesn't move. And what you can do is tape it 3 times. Yeah, perfect. Next thing I would do is I would go to the order and then check out USPS priority prices. So this, I gotta fill out this detail first. So with the box, it's 2 pounds and 4 ounces. All right, so USPS priority is showing us $11.80 to ship this to the customer. This is a solid price, but you should always check your other options because you never, depending on the zone, other options might be cheaper. So let me try UPS ground right here. So it's in this instance, the UPS ground is like a couple cents cheaper. So if you want to go with the UPS ground option, you can. But for me, I go with USPS still because they are a lot closer of a drive from my location. So shipping an item really depends on the size of the box, where it's going, where you're located, as well as the time that you need to ship it to that place. Remember that the items, the options that I showed you are from cheapest to the most expensive. If you do need faster shipping, I would always choose priority over a first class or even UPS ground, because UPS ground does take longer than priority. So it really depends on what you want. And overnight shipping, that all ranges too, but just make sure, just plug in the dimensions of your unit onto the computer and then check out each rate and see which one works for you. And the great thing about this is you don't need to wait online. I see like a lot of people waiting online on USPS, but there's usually a drop-off location to the side of it, or like you could leave it on the desk of the post office, and you don't need to wait online. As long as these are labeled properly, you just leave it there, and then the employees there scan this, and then it usually checks in fine all the time.